I'm not a heavy swearer,
Yeah.
but other people are, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
I think something happened like halfway through uni where like you have fillers like no and stuff like that. I think I replaced all of them with swear words.
yeah.
It just has sort of happened.
A lot of people do that. They use it as like alliteration.
Yeah.
It's like everything's fucked.
Fucking yeah.
Pisses me off. Either way, if you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'll stock up some coffee.
That's cool.
Is that ready? I don't know. How does coffee work? Is there a timer?
I went through this with Jack. He didn't know how coffee worked.
Which Jack was that? Jack Ryan?
No, Jack Edwards. He was like one of the first people I had on the podcast.
Is he doing alright?
Yeah, he's up in Edinburgh now. He's doing. He's working with some shop, but he's like getting into his writing stuff. Just discussing Jack at length now. But
that's my topic actually.
Oh, your topic's Jack. That'd be great.
That's weirdly specific.
He'd love that. Yeah. Well, we'll do an introduction, seeing as we haven't yet. So yeah, welcome to the Yellow and Concrete podcast. Got Joe Potter with me.
That's me.
Or Joseph Potter.
Joe. We'll go
Joe. Joe Potter is better.
Yeah. Joey is acceptable, but
Joey.
I draw the line at Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't say Joey either.
Joey.
I've changed my mind. Just Joe.
Just Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. Straight up Joe. See, like again, I'm faced with the problem of usually I give people like an introduction, like a job title, but like some people do jobs and then they do stuff outside. Like you could class someone as like they work in a shop but they're an artist, and obviously we work together.
Yeah.
But what do you consider yourself as outside of work?
I would say, I feel like after having a degree in games programming for 3 years, I kind of have to say that I'm in games, man.
You're the games. I mean, other than like,
yeah, I would just say creatively, I guess. Like, I like making stuff.
That's cool. I think creative's a solid job title.
Yeah, creative. We'll stick with that.
Creative.
I'm a creative.
Creative type. Yeah. I like that. I could put that on a business card and call up and he's like, I need someone creative. Don't worry, we got Joe.
Yeah.
We got
Just
Joe.
vague creative things.
We do, yeah. I mean, that's basically what I do.
Yeah, man, I was going to say, like, I don't know how I would define the stuff you do, because you do, like, your t-shirt thing, you do your art thing.
I just define myself as being a nuisance. That's probably the easiest way to define myself, is that I'm a professional nuisance.
I like it.
To everyone. I'm here to make other people feel bad.
Easier than making other people feel good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got adept at it. I find that I'm one of those people speak to and they're like, so what do you do? And it's like, oh, I do all these things. And they're like, oh, I don't do anything. And I'm like, well, I do lots of things, but they're not good. So I'm like a faucet left running. Like, it's still going to flood the place, regardless of what actually comes out. Okay, so leading in, since we've got off track already, which I knew would happen, we missed the first question.
Cool.
How long have we known each other?
What is it? Hang on. 2004. 4 years.
4 years.
As of this January.
As of this January. Oh,
yeah.
Shit. Yeah. As of this January.
Because I met you because you were starting work at the same time as me.
Yeah, we worked at the same place, and then you left to actually go do things with your life.
Yep.
Yeah. You're one of those, like... I'll talk about you in the first person. If Joe is the kind of person who you look at and you go, what have you achieved in 3 years? And you're like, well, I went off and got a degree.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what have I achieved in 3 years? Well, I started a podcast, but that was this year.
Did a calendar?
I was cutting it close.
That's true.
In the, yeah.
Well, you already did your degree, though.
Yeah.
That's not fair. Like, in 3 years from now, ask me what I've done in 3 years.
Okay.
And then we'll see how that goes.
We'll see where we both sit on the scale of raising. But yeah, that's 4 years, so it's quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's been intermittent.
Yeah, it's one of those. We have one of those relationships where you see each other every so often.
Yeah.
Because like you went to uni for 3 years, so I didn't see you for 3 years.
Pretty much.
Even though you were at uni in the same city as me,
yeah.
We both knew we were still here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't hang out.
I literally lived on the same street as you.
You lived literally up the road from me.
Like 10 houses that way.
Yeah. And we didn't see each other at all.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. I bumped into you once.
You
I
did
bump into you once.
And I was on my way to work.
Yeah.
So I couldn't chat.
And I bought one of your t-shirts.
You did?
Yeah.
You're probably
That's
one of my best
times
customers.
Yeah,
actually. Like,
I'll take that.
Apart from, like, I got Dave, who's another guy, but he buys everything I do. But
I don't have the money for that.
Yeah, no.
If I did, I would. So, yeah. I
That's
was
all I need to
going to
do.
wear one of your t-shirts
Oh.
on this show. I'll be like,
Is that too
so I
meta?
wore this today.
That's a
Can't
lot.
remember who made it, but
You don't want to wear that. There's a new one coming out. That's all you need to know.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
plug it.
We could plug it, but I'm not going.
No.
Essentially, because I don't know when this will come out. This is the other thing about today's podcast. In most podcasts I record, they come out like the week later.
Yeah.
This isn't coming out for 4 weeks
4 weeks. I feel special. Why?
because of the timing. I'm kind of doing a bulk record this week. So you're part of like that bulk recording,
Okay.
which means 4 weeks from now, the entire world could have ended.
That's true.
And we wouldn't know. We'd be sat casually having coffee.
Oh, no.
North Korea could have
Seems so
invaded,
innocent,
and
yeah.
we'd just be sat here just like,
Be one of those tapes they dig up like 100 years from now. Why are they so chill whenever all that shit was going
everyone
down?
else was freaking out, but these guys just sat on YouTube just
Sipping coffee.
drinking coffee and not really doing much.
Which is very nice, by the way.
Thank you.
First cup of good coffee.
Well, I do try to introduce people to coffee. I mean, not everyone likes coffee, so.
Nah,
I mean, when Rob, a friend of mine came, he drank beer.
I didn't realise that was an option.
It was an option. I mean, we do have work later, but that is an option.
It's
I mean, I
hours.
could bust out the homemade Kahlua, and we could get a little ras.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've got into this habit of just bringing friends on for coffee. And, I
I
think,
think it's nice.
Yeah.
Chat over coffee.
yeah,
Very cash.
it kind of brings us around as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously I ask everyone to bring a subject to the table.
Indeed.
This table, specifically. And you wanted to bring in...
Well, I hummed and hard.
You hummed and hard.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe something... Because every topic I came up with, I was like, is that a bit too pretentious to talk about? Because it's like, talk about all these deep, meaningful things.
Really?
Be like, let's talk about humanity.
Okay.
But no.
Alright, we're not
So,
we're not getting pretentious today.
No.
Well, I can't guarantee that. We're
No.
already on coffee and on podcast. There's a level of pretension which is already happening.
That's true.
No.
I wore a nice shirt. That's how pretentious I am.
That's good. I mean, you dressed up for this.
I did.
I just put on what was on the floor.
Yeah, so in the end I was like, I was thinking maybe like talk about self-esteem, that's an issue right now.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe like friendship in like modern age, because I've been thinking a lot about that recently.
Okay.
But then I was like, wait, what is that all like umbrellaed underneath? Social media.
Okay.
How's that?
So yeah, I mean, you want to go in the social media friend line.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that. I mean, we've covered like social media and self-esteem a little in the past, but we never really covered the friend aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because the way we discussed it in the past, I can't remember who I was discussing it with. Might have been it was with Cameron last time he was here. We were discussing the idea of like complacency and convenience, and that's what social media is giving
Right,
us.
yeah.
Giving us that snapshot, which then you kind of compare your life to, and then discover
Yeah.
that your life sucks because everyone
Or you
else's
see the
snapshot's better.
highlights.
Yeah, you never see the 10 minutes in between where they were on the toilet or
Yeah,
anything like that. I mean, it's like this. This is an hour's chatting, but
Exactly.
there was prep which went into this, which you don't see. But no, yeah, we didn't really discuss it from the idea of friends, because I think friends has changed as a sentiment for a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially due to social media.
Especially, it's has such a huge impact.
I mean-
in such a short amount of time as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's an obvious age difference between us.
Yeah.
I mean, how old are you now?
13.
13.
Yeah. Well, in October, actually. Yeah, I'm turning 23 in 2 weeks.
I mean, you have to be legal to be on this show, Joe.
Oh, shit. I've been talking about beer earlier.
Okay, so you what was that?
23 in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so you're 23 and I'm 28 in a month or so. So there's a fair difference between us.
Yeah.
But I don't think the effect of social media and friends for either of us really occurred until we were in our teens.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'd agree with that.
Whereas I think kids underneath us now see the effect at like 10
Yeah.
because they're on Facebook.
It hits them so early, yeah.
Yeah, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, they're, whoring themselves out for points.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So yeah, I think I don't know if it's damaging.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're going to have to wait like 10 years to see. Because at the moment, there's the kids that are like 15 or 16 have
Okay.
been growing up with social media
Yeah.
since they were born. Whereas we had it after we had like our childhoods,
Mm-hmm.
like normal childhoods. We played with our friends outside and didn't care about like selfies or whatever. And then it hit us in like teenagerhood.
Yeah.
These people have literally grown up with it from the day they were born.
I think it's interesting though, I think, because, you hear a lot of people, especially adults.
Yeah.
I say adults, not like we're adults.
On that side.
who say like kids don't play outside anymore and all this kind of stuff, and they're at home on Facebook and whatnot. My street is constantly covered in kids.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do agree with that.
I feel like they're completely ignoring. It's like if your kids stay at home all the time, maybe that's your problem, not the kids' problem.
I think it's like as soon as they get given like the freedom to have social media, like a lot of kids around, I'm guessing like they get phones now, like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know. Like
That's alright. I just like the idea of a 4-year-old having a mobile.
no, they do, man. They got their iPads.
It's freaking disturbing.
Yeah. So like I guess I'm not really sure. Yeah, because you still see them like playing around the street and stuff.
You do.
But where does it hit? Where does social media like suddenly take hold?
I don't know. I think maybe you become more involved with it when you hit puberty.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the maybe the balance of it. When you're like 9 or 10, you don't care.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Facebook, but you use it for Farmville. You know, you don't really use it because you've got other things you want to be doing.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sat indoors. Like, that was the thing of, like, when we were kids. You didn't want to be sat indoors doing nothing because it was boring.
Yeah.
So the idea of sitting on Facebook to a 10-year-old is boring. Like, there's nothing to do there. Why would you even do it? Unless you've got a game which you're addicted to, because, you know, addiction can happen at that age.
Yeah.
So I think, maybe it's just as you become suddenly more aware and your hormones start firing.
Maybe maybe that's where like self-esteem comes into it, where you suddenly start thinking more about appearance, more about how other people see you.
I mean, it's interesting though, because you see people like my age who are obsessed. They'll be on Facebook, they'll have like 2,000 friends.
Yep.
And they'll constantly be on it. And they'll be Snapchatting.
Yeah.
They'll be Instagramming.
Yep.
I mean, I'm no stranger to Instagram. I Instagram most days.
Yeah, but you don't need
But I'm promoting.
to. Yeah.
You know, that's how I see it. That's how I what's the word? Define it. Try and alleviate the guilt I feel over it. But yeah, you kind of like, you get people who do, like, they absolutely live on it. And I can't understand that, because I essentially treat Facebook the same way I treat, like, regular life. I'm very particular with who I accept, like, friend-wise.
Yeah.
I don't accept anyone if I've never met them.
For sure.
That's like a solid, unless they're in a different country. But it's like, if it's like a solid hard and fast rule, it's like, I'm not gonna just like randomly add someone.
Yeah.
Or people add me. Yeah.
I think my rule, because I go through my friends list every so often, and just be like, if I wouldn't be comfortable like having a pint with this person, having a chat with them, if I would feel uncomfortable like just talking to them, I remove them.
Okay.
And that keeps me around like 150. Where it's like school friends that I really like, got my uni friends, got work people.
Okay.
And then like every so often I just look at someone and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. So why are you my friend?
Yeah. I think that's interesting though, because I'm a terrible friend. Or I used to be a terrible friend. To the point of I don't have anyone from school on my Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anyone from college. The only people I've got are uni people, and occasionally I remove 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, well, it's been long enough.
It's been long enough, you don't talk, they're doing better than you. You can't have that sat on your Facebook feed.
Just got my dream job.
I said, I want a BAFTA. Fuck you.
Get out there.
Oh, your fucking success. I mean, congratulations.
Yeah, you say congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Happy birthday. But yeah, it's like, it's one of those things that I find, I essentially just cut off everyone from back then. Whereas I find there's still a lot of people who do keep in touch with those people. And I guess like Facebook has a good part there, if you can keep in touch with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where that balance is.
I think that's like part of why it's so easy to sort of keep in touch with old friends now, but like not in the way that it was, the way like you actually care about them, but in the way that you don't have to have all that meaningless small talk with them anymore. Like you don't have to be like, what you've been doing recently. You don't have to say like where you're working. Has anything happened? Because you know all of it.
But that's
damaging. You've seen it all, so you know you don't need to talk to them. You already know them.
No, but don't you think that has like a separate effect of, because you know everything.
Yeah.
If you do run into them, you have nothing to say.
Yeah. That's why
worse.
That's why it's affecting friendship so badly. Like you can stay in touch. Like you could probably, you know everything about them, so it's not like who is this person anymore.
Right.
But at the same time, what is there to talk about?
I think I have
it's shallow.
A very much effective. I don't want to know about people.
Yeah.
I have that a lot.
That's why
like,
you cut off the people you don't care about.
You're just like, I don't want to know about you. What? Great, congratulations. No, I don't care about you. Just fuck off.
Exactly.
Hide you from the feed. Because there's that thing as well, though, like whether you hide someone or whether you unfriend someone.
Yeah.
I mean, where does that decision come into your mind?
I think it's if you still have to see them in public, because then it's like they don't know if you've hidden them.
Right.
But if you remove them, then that's an awkward conversation.
That is an awkward conversation. But then you weren't going to have a conversation with them anyway if you were going to unfriend them.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
If it's like, what's the point in hiding them if you couldn't have the conversation which you don't want to have with them online?
Yeah.
You may as well just unfriend them, and then when they go, "Why did you unfriend me?" You'd be like, "Well, you were being a dick." So
You're a boring person.
You were boring. And I didn't want to see the 50 pictures you took of your baby, and then the 50 pictures you took an hour later.
They all look like a raisin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Babies do look like raisins.
Yeah.
That's the tagline of today's episode.
Babies do look like raisins.
But I find, it's like friendship for me it's one of those things which are kind of evolved, essentially. But then again, as I say, like I'm a pretty bad friend in that I don't. It's not that I don't care about people. It's that I forget that time has passed, essentially. So like, it's not that I'm like, okay, cool, I need to hit up so and so because I haven't seen them in 2 months. It's like I don't realize 2 months has passed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they haven't contacted me. I haven't contacted them. We're both probably okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm okay on my own. Maybe they're okay on their own. I don't need to contact them. That'll be fine. And I think most people understand that.
And then, but there's some people where it's like,
oh yeah, if
they
you don't
take
speak
that
to them
as an offense.
for like a week,
Yeah.
it'll be like, oh, why haven't you contacted me? It's like, I didn't know a week had passed, if I'm honest. We're in October.
Wake up, I watch Netflix, I go to work, I go to sleep.
Exactly, you know.
It's been a month.
It was I'm going to take 10 minutes out of the day and think, oh, I wonder what they're up to. Maybe I should check and see if they're okay. It's like, yeah, if I can see you're struggling in some way, but outside of that, I assume we're both just doing okay.
Yeah.
If we run into each other, great.
Could set a bot up just to like every week say like, you still alive?
That'd be great.
Still
That's
here?
what Facebook should do next. It should be able to put scheduled check-ins with friends.
Oh god.
Of like you could schedule a post, but now you can schedule a message just to fire off once a month or so and just go, hey, how you doing? What are you doing?
Oh god.
I feel
I can see that like maybe even being a thing in the future. That's the thing.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
give it like a year or so. They run out of weird updates to do to Facebook that just started and stuff like that.
Well, they haven't changed the layout in a while.
Yeah, that's true. I hate when they do that.
Yeah, it's the worst thing in the world, but
Round
everyone
corners.
talks about it.
Square.
Yeah.
I don't care about it enough to be angry, but it still kind of annoys me.
Well, it gradually gets more and more adverts, doesn't it? Like initially they were at the side, and now they appear in your feed.
Yep.
And eventually they're just going to replace the feed.
Yeah, they'll probably put them in messaging at some point, like
Definitely.
type in a message and
Well,
then it just like pops up.
No, that's like I use, because obviously you've got my business page. Like I've got that going, and every so often I'll run an advert. And then if I run an advert, Facebook Messenger hits me up from their advertising bot, which asks me to buy more advertising. But it does it in like a conversation way where you have to interact. It's like, do you want to see how this post did? And then you have to click yes or no.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, cool, well, we'll talk a little bit more about this. Do you want to know more? I'm like, maybe. And then it's just always the final question of, you know, do you want to buy more advertising? You could do that with a friend app.
Yeah, could do.
Would you like to know more?
Dave is still alive. He's got a new job. Do you want to know where?
Yes. If you click no, it
Don't really
unfriends
care
him
about Dave,
automatically.
yeah.
So it's like a litmus test for your friendships.
Yeah.
You have to go for a survey every month where it's like, such and such has been doing this. Are you interested? Yeah, we'll go maybe. Okay. You answered maybe on 7 things. Would you like to remove them as a friend?
I guess, yeah. Oh no, there'll be like friends schools and everything.
That'd be great.
I'd fail all of them.
I feel like that, I don't know, maybe I'm the wrong person to talk to about social media and friendships because I'm like, I kind of love the idea of it getting more and more dystopian.
What, like Charlie Brooker?
Yeah. Just like gradually pushing the boundary of what is acceptable because it's all online. Like, as much as we do the online thing and as much as that, regardless of what happens and what you know, when you meet a person, you're still your awkward self.
Yeah, in real life.
Yeah, that's what everyone does. They automatically default to their awkward selves.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it's easy to strip them of what they think they are online by just throwing them a curveball. So it's like there's no kind of lasting damage, at least for our generation, of that, because no one's self-esteem is is so ingrained that they are their personality online.
Yeah.
Whereas
They
a lot
could
of
lose
people,
it, and they'd still be themselves.
yeah, you could knock it back. It's like, oh, so you're really confident, really bubbly, really into yourself, and then you say something, and then suddenly they're broken. And it's like, that's in a way that's good, because it means that you can still be human with one another. You can still chat about shit.
You know, just like characters that you make up and you sort of role playing online.
Oh, that's the thing. It's like, I think I read somewhere today that's like Habbo Hotel's like anniversary.
Oh,
which was like an online game from way back when, and you had a little character and you lived in this hotel for some reason, which I never really understood. And it's like, that was you had a fake persona.
Yeah.
And you were an online character.
Oh no, it was the precursor to Facebook.
Well, there
That's
you go.
what it is now, yeah.
It's like that's getting to the point of like now everyone's online are just caricatures of themselves.
Yeah.
So at what point does that become where you are your own caricature?
I'm pretty sure there's films about that. It's kind of scary that we're sort of living it.
Well, that's why
Sci-fi.
That's why I kind of love it in a way. I'm just like, it's got to get to that point where someone just becomes their impression of themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what celebrity is, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think that's what like damages child celebrities so much.
Yeah.
The fact that they are from like the get-go like this character that they have to play all the time that isn't them, because that's what they're selling.
Yeah.
And that's what they are all the time. They don't have a chance to like relax or like not play their character.
Yeah.
So they can't be a normal child, they can't grow up normally, and then it gets to the point where they're suddenly like a young adult and they're like, shit, how do I not be this?
How do I adult
Yeah.
in like a major way of how do I even be me kind of thing. Do you think that's what happened with Shia LaBeouf?
I think so. Even, I don't know what happened to him. 'Cause he was already an adult. He was okay.
I kind of love Shia LaBeouf. Like, I hate him. But not in like a bad way.
Yeah.
In a jealousy way, essentially.
Just does whatever he wants.
He does whatever the fuck he wants. He's like, he was a child star, he's been in some films, and then he just started doing art stuff because he could.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need money.
I'm so rich I can just do weird
do
shit
whatever
all
the
day.
fuck I want.
Yeah.
And like some of the art stuff has been really good.
Yeah.
From my point of view. But then I like art, and some
Yeah.
other points of view I can understand why it looks weird. I mean, the Just Do It video was great.
That was amazing.
But yeah. But then there's that one where he's like watching every film he's ever made, and that was fantastic.
Mm.
And it's just like he just does whatever he wants. He's been damaged by it, but then he's like turning into something good.
Yeah, I think he could go either way.
Yeah.
Like right now he's like,
I mean,
it's okay. He's not hurting himself, he's not hurting anyone else.
I feel like he's our age.
Is he? Well, like mid-20s?
He's got to be like late 20s.
Yeah. I wouldn't assume he's like 30 or something, because he was still like a child star like 10 years ago.
Well, he was a child when I was a child, so I'm thinking like 30s.
Yeah.
Or maybe just before 30s.
So he still has a chance to go a bit crazier.
I think everyone has a chance to go a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I think that maybe
It's
that's
just responsibilities.
that's the
that tie
test
you
of your
down.
friends.
Yeah.
Of if your friends could handle you crazy. And like, I mean, but then you've got that double-edged sword of like, how far crazy do you go? Like, at some point, you're like, let's say we were just like, one of us started drinking heavily.
Yeah.
And we were like, cool, we're drinking heavily. And then we'd be like, no, I'm drinking during the day. And I'd be like, all right, Joe, if you want to drink during the day, drink
It's your
during the day.
choice, yeah.
At some point, you got to kind of pull back and go, maybe you're drinking a little bit much for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, is that your friend, or is your friend the one who's like, no, we should see how far we should take this
Yeah.
crazy?
Why just a day?
Yeah.
All day, all night? Do we need sleep?
No.
Just need Jaeger bombs.
Exactly. Well, nobody needs Jaeger bombs.
No.
Just Jaeger. Jaeger on its own is
Can't have
fine.
it anymore.
No?
Nah. Well, once you've had like pounded a bottle or something,
Yeah,
And
I agree
then-
with that. I mean, I did that with wine.
just can't. What does the smell like affect you?
It used to. Well, when I was, I say about 17, drank 2 bottles of wine at house party. It was messy.
Mhm.
Not a great position to be in. Friend of mine took me home, looked after me.
Nice guy.
He was a nice guy. He's a solid guy. And I don't speak to him anymore because he was in school. Ashley, I'm sorry. And yeah, like from that point on, I couldn't drink wine anymore. But then recently, I've been trying to get myself back into wine.
Yeah.
I've been trying to undo all the damage because I like wine as like a refreshing drink.
Yeah.
It always looks nice.
It is. It's one of the alcohols where it actually tastes good for the sake of drinking it. It's not like where a lot of people drink beer and spirits and stuff just because they want to get drunk. It's like It's a pleasant drink.
You're drinking it for the flavour.
Yeah.
It's like, it goes well with a meal
Yeah.
as well. It's not so bubbly. But yeah, it is that thing of, again, I mean, I was at a house party and I got looked after by a friend. But then I don't talk to that friend anymore.
But, you know, he was a friend then.
I mean, he's
that was
still
a friend
on,
thing to
he's
do.
one of the few who's still on my Facebook.
Yeah. There you go.
But I don't know anything about his life. Because I hid him years ago.
Oh, no. There you go. That's the hidden risk. You didn't know to defriend him because you hid him, so he's just there.
Why
in the
did I
background.
defriend him? This was, yeah. We'll get all these cats out of the bag now of the people which I've unfriended and unfollowed. Dear.
Just hope they don't see this.
I mean, every so often oh no, hell. Maybe that's the conversation I need to have. That they can come along and be like, oh, why did you unfollow me?
That's the topic.
Every so often I get like a friend invite from someone I went to school with.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate it.
Those are weird. Yeah.
I have literally like maybe 20 unanswered friend requests.
Yep.
Which I've gathered over the last 8-9 years. I'm just like, no, I don't want to talk to any of you. I've got family who I don't talk to.
Yeah. If I don't talk to them, I'm not talking to someone I knew vaguely
Well, that's
10
the
years ago.
thing. Like, I see Facebook as like an extension of friends. It's, you know, it's like people I want to keep in contact with who I don't see regularly.
Yeah.
Not family who I don't want to talk to. Or friends who I don't want to talk to.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess they aren't friends anymore. If you don't want to talk to a friend, can they be considered a friend?
I guess not.
I
What's
mean,
the
I have
definition of a
acquaintances on
friend?
Facebook as well, but they're just it's because I see them.
Yeah. I think the definition of a friend is important because then, like,
Okay, what do you define a friend as?
I would say, yeah, like, you know, earlier I said the way that I cull my friends is like I would feel comfortable talking to them or like having a pint with them.
I think that's a very British way of approaching this.
Yeah, like in the sense that like you don't feel uncomfortable in their company. You feel comfortable just sitting down and being like, hey man, like it doesn't matter if you've kept up with each other for like months. Like there's friends that I think my school friends that I keep in touch with. I know that I can like go to York and see one of my mates that I was good friends with back then and be like the same as we were together.
Okay.
But yeah, there's other people which I know I couldn't do that with.
Okay, so it's like the yardstick is conversation.
Yeah, I think
See,
so. Feeling comfortable talking.
I feel like my yardstick of people who I consider proper friends are people I can sit in a room with not saying anything,
Right.
and it's not uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah, comfortable silence.
Yeah, it's like if you can just you say hi, like sit down, and then neither of you needs to say anything for like 20 minutes, you'd be fine. I think that's like a solid friend.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
I
I'd
just-
agree with that as well, because like, it's the awkward small talk that is awful. Then
Just
you're
think
not-
maybe I just need furniture.
Just a nice lamp.
Just start drawing faces on my like desk and settee.
So, as a friend, I'm supposed to stop you from doing the crazy things. Where do we leave that?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the crazy thing.
Yeah. Maybe like you support it up until they hurt themselves, and then you look after them after they hurt themselves.
No,
That's what your friend did with the wine. 'Cause he
True.
let you drink all that wine.
he did let me drink all that wine.
He just then. Fuck you, man. He just then made sure you were like all right afterwards. So support their ideas and make sure they don't die. I think.
Okay, so you're meant to let them hurt themselves.
To a point, I guess.
Is it maybe
This
it's
is
like
hard.
repetitive hurting themselves? Maybe it's the
Yeah.
things which you don't say when you're drunk and you do say when you're sober.
Yeah.
Like if let's say maybe it's something new you were doing. So like you went like ski jumping. I don't know what ski jumping is, but that just combined two words to make something new. So like ski jumping. Oh no, ski jumping is a thing.
It is,
What
it's
am I
when
on
they go
about?
down the ramp. Yeah.
Just disregarding the entire Olympics right now. Okay, so yeah, you ski jumping, and they were like, "Hey, no, I want to do ski jumping." And you're like, "That's a little odd." You're like, "Well, I haven't had any training, but I feel like I could do ski jumping."
Yeah.
Okay, so then they go ski jumping and they break their legs,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna take care of you. You
Yeah.
broke your legs," and they're like, "Don't let me do that again." But then in a month or so, when their legs have healed, because legs
That's-
heal in
that's
that time
really
frame,
fast, yeah.
that's they're
Yeah.
great healings. Yeah, they're like, "I want to go ski jumping again." If you let them do it again, is that where you're not a friend?
I don't know, because I feel sometimes you have to make mistakes to get good at something. But at the same time, if they immediately broke their legs the first time,
Yeah.
then yeah, I would say you'd probably hard pass on that, or at least try and talk sense into them.
I feel
You
like
don't just be like, yeah, fuck it, go again.
I don't know. I feel like as long as every time they got injured, they weren't close to death, But then at the same, again, I'm probably the wrong
Where do you
person
draw
to
the
this
line?
because I'm the kind of person where I'm like, if you've spoken to them and you've explained why it's a bad idea, and they're still going to do it, you got to let people hurt themselves.
That's their choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless
restrain
of
them.
friend status.
Yeah.
If, like, if you spoke, they came to you the first time and was just like, I'm going to do ski jumping, you're like, that doesn't seem like a good idea. You don't have training. And then they break their legs and you're like, you didn't have training. That seems like a bad idea. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to go do it again. But maybe this is just how you go
Yeah,
out.
you're a lost cause.
Maybe this is just how I end up at your funeral.
Yeah. Some gravestones need to say repetitive ski jumping injuries.
That's a question then. So thinking of like close friends, what would they write on your gravestone?
Oh god.
Because I've been told this a
didn't
couple of
need a big
times.
coffin. Knowing that.
Just child-sized coffin.
Yeah.
Just-
Thanks for saving us money.
Oh, that's
Sure.
harsh. I
What
like
about
it. Jack told me that mine would just say, it would be a quote and it just said, I never did enough. Because I generally think that.
Yeah.
And then, other people have just been told me, just like, I'm not dead yet. Stuff like that.
I'm not quite
Oh,
dead.
I told you so. I
like that. I never did enough.
I never did
I
enough.
feel like that's like the motto of any like creative. Because like no matter how much you do, you're always like chasing that big thing that you want to make as like a legacy.
Yeah.
And I feel like even if you do that, there'll still be that part of like the creative's brain, which is like, but is that it?
I think maybe that's why I treat friends in a way that I do treat friends. Because just thinking in terms of like creative stuff and making things, there's always that worry that you're going to have such a large friend group that they'll just support your work regardless of whether it's good.
Yeah.
And you end up in this little bubble. And I try very hard to remain out of that bubble, but still be a good friend to people.
Yeah.
And that's like a tight edge to walk.
It's hard.
It's like I want to be able to send people things, but I want them also to tell me it's shit.
Yeah. You don't want like a group of shallow friends who are just
Yeah.
like, this is amazing
Yeah.
every time. 'Cause then you're like, well, I'm not going to improve now. If you keep saying it's amazing, then I'll just stay at this level.
So maybe it's the people who you can sit in a room with quietly and also will tell you that you're doing shit.
It's just sounding like mean people to me.
Well,
Be friends with mean people.
I'm friends with mean people,
Yeah.
but then
Same
maybe
actually.
I'm a mean person.
Yeah.
But then are we mean because we've got these friends?
Maybe mean people just like, they're the best people for each other.
But then to me it's not mean because it's like they're not going out of their way to say to strangers.
No. Well, not all of them.
No. I mean, I have a couple of friends who would just go tell someone they were shit, but maybe that's how I met them. And I was like, you know what?
That's shit, and you're like, oh, it is.
You're
yeah.
really honest. I
I
like
like
that.
it.
Let's build off that relationship. But yeah, I think it's a mixed edge. I mean, it's interesting to look at like parents and their friends. Like my parents don't have a lot of friends. That's like a standard.
Yeah.
Which I've had since childhood. They've never had a huge friend group, and I think part of that comes through because you have children.
Yeah. You don't have a lot of time.
No time spending with your
So-
kids.
The best friends that you have are the only ones you keep.
Yeah. Or you end up with like friends who are just friends because the other friends have kids.
Yeah. Convenience and the best friends that you have.
Yeah.
Probably all you're left with.
So it's always interesting to kind of look at like friend groups of people our age and then friend groups of like adults essentially, and just think, how do you get to that stage? Like, or do you have to have kids?
Maybe.
But then I
Like-
don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of someone who's like 50,
Mm-hmm.
who I know who has a huge friend group.
It's hard.
And as close as I can come, I can only think of my gran,
Yeah.
who's like 60 something, and has a huge friend group. But that's because she does loads of shit.
Right. And she got a lot of time to.
She's got a lot of time.
Which is understandable. Yeah, I think it's hard that like I've got family who are like they're in their mid-40s, I think.
Yeah.
And like they've only just had a kid, but before that they still had like quite a small friend group.
Okay.
Like they had like a best friend and like a few people they know from work, but they worked all the time. And they still had like just the inner circle. They don't have all of these like extras that a lot of people have nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, I think that still exists, like, for us. Like, I'm sure you have your inner circle that you have, like, the best friends that you'd consider, like, you know, the ones you always want to hang out with. Or
The ones I
whatever,
can sit in a
yeah.
room with,
Yeah, the silence ones. And then the ones where, like, yeah, I like them. They're quite fun. I
Okay.
had a nice chat with them. And then the ones which are like, I see them at work. They're alright. Don't hate them.
Well, yeah. if you get out of those rings, how far do you have to go before you start to hate people?
Oh, like one after
Does
that.
that just depend how polite you are, essentially?
I already hate most of the ones in like this one. But...
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's another mix. I think maybe as well, like, there's that, again, we go back to like social media, it's that whole jealousy aspect of like, can you be jealous of friends?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think you can be envious.
But yeah, because it's like,
It's
there's
different,
people
like,
I've
jealous is,
removed
like,
from like
malicious.
my feed because I'm like, fuck you guys and your success.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if like a close friend had success, I'd be like, cool, that's great.
Yeah.
You know,
People you're happy
fuck
for.
you, but that's great.
Yeah. I think then you have to at least feel some happiness as well as the envy. I don't think you can ever not feel envy or something like that.
No.
Because it's just like human to be like, that's nice, I want that.
I think that's, yeah, I mean, I've seen that from like interviews and stuff, because you watch a lot of things with like directors and authors and stuff.
Mm.
And there's a great one on like Channel 4, they were on about like songs, like top 10 songs or something like that, when they did all those lists back in the day.
So great.
And they never need to be done again because they've already established the top 50 or something. But there was like musicians who were like, and they asked them what song did they wish they'd written.
Oh, yeah.
And it's that kind of thing of like, you get directors who are like, God damn, I wish I'd made that film.
Yeah.
Why can't I make that film?
Exactly.
Fuck that guy. And it's,
Even though they've made these amazing
Yeah, it's
other
like,
films, and it's like,
you know, yeah.
This
You
guy's an
fucking-
Oscar winner.
You're Scorsese, and yet you're still envious of Spielberg for doing something.
yeah,
And yeah, I don't know.
that's it. I think it's just always there. That's the I haven't done enough quote. They're like just in everyone.
I still could do more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I've made this 10 times Oscar winning like films through my life, but that one film that this guy made
Yeah.
is everything I wanted to make.
I mean, how do you see friends in comparison to family? Because some people treat friends like family. Like they really get into that whole, you're my friend,
Yeah.
so they're like my brother, my sister,
Yeah.
and that's the same. Whereas I mean, my family's we're close in the sense of like we look after each other,
Yeah.
but we're not close in the sense of how we treat each other. But then I kind of mirror that on friends,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
No, I'd agree with that. Like, I've seen that with my family where we're all quite like we don't banter like a lot of families do. We don't like sit in a room and like play games all night and like, but like we love each other.
Yeah.
And like we do anything for each other, but I wouldn't like just say I'm gonna stay in and talk to my family all night. And it's the same with I think most of my friends.
Yeah.
Like, there are friends that I like. Obviously, I want to spend time with a lot, but I wouldn't consider them family.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a separation, I think.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to hear it from someone else who does that.
Yeah.
Because my family we're close and we love each other, but it's like I don't sit and chat to my family often.
Yeah.
Like the person who keeps my family social is my mom, because she checks on everyone, makes sure everyone's okay.
Yeah.
It's like cool. That's what mom's role in this family is. You're holding it together. If it wasn't for her, it's like my dad, my brother, and me probably wouldn't talk for years.
Every 10 years.
Yeah, it would be like, cool, you're alright? Yeah, I'm
Just
good,
get
alright.
a letter.
Yeah. It'd be a snapshot and everyone would be happy and everything would be good. We'd go for a
Yeah.
drink and we'd sit in silence and no one would feel like they need to say anything.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think it's always interesting when you meet people who really get into friendship.
Yeah,
As a
like
thing.
over the top.
Yeah.
And like message
And
stuff.
I do find
non-stop.
it's people who have families who are close,
Mhm.
like heavily close.
Yeah.
And who hang out all the time and mess each other every day and stuff like that.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like when you see that, like people our age or something, or people at uni or like anything like that, and then they just like constantly talk and they have like a family chat on their phone
Yeah.
for messaging, and like they go back every weekend, and it's like on purpose. Like I go
Yeah.
if I need to go back to my family, I will. Like I don't hate them.
Yeah.
I'll go back. I'll enjoy my time there. But these people are like choosing to like go back away from their friends to go to their family and like
On a regular basis.
yeah.
It's because, like their brothers and sisters are like their best friends.
Yeah, it just seems so odd to me.
It does seem strange. I find it, in a way, I find it hard to comprehend that. It's like, I can't see it as necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Because they seem happy and that's how they run their lives.
Yeah.
But if it was for me, I'd be sad.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like one of those things, like, that's great for you, but for me...
Yeah, I need something else. I need independence.
I need that separation to know I can just ignore you and then everything will be fine. Is
See,
it-
I think that's interesting about you actually, because you described your like favorite kind of friends as people that you can just be around, but not necessarily need to talk to, be comfortable in silence.
Okay.
And then you've also said that like you enjoy the fact that you can also just be silent with your family and like not talk to them for a while and everything's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's like a nice little parallel there.
Yeah,
So
I
you do
think
sort of treat your friends in the same way you
in
treat
the same
your
way I
family.
treat my family, but the way I treat my family to some people probably wouldn't be the right way to treat my family.
Yeah, just imagine like there's all these people that's like family first and
Yeah.
how did you say all these things?
I mean, in a way, like it's odd though, because like I've had a few conversations where you do have people who are that close and families that are that close, and it makes me kind of uncomfortable when I'm in those situations because I have no idea how to act around people like who are doing that, and so you end up in this kind of this double aspect of like when you meet people to be potential friends, and they're being super friendly.
Oh,
It's like in a way I
That's
have like
not
this
right.
little barrier which people have to be persistent with
yeah.
to get through that for me to actually go, okay, yeah, I can stand to be around you for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And there are people that get through and they're very, very good friends because they're persistent with it. But there's other people where I'm like, no, you kind of...
You're just a different
You thought I
person
was
to
just
me.
being an asshole. It's like this weird subconscious test which I'm putting people through. Apologies to anybody who may want to be a friend of me.
Get through a weird, disjointed conversation with me.
Yeah.
And not hate me.
I mean, I drove you to work for 2 years or so.
Yeah.
And we were fine.
Yeah. It was good.
That was persistent.
We had some nice chats, nice silences.
We did have some nice silences. There was a few occasions where we just drove to work in silence, and it was fine.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I think there was or maybe that's the kind of thing I was saying to Cameron, of I haven't seen him in ages. I haven't spoken to him in ages, like I think probably less than I spoke to you.
Yeah.
To say you up the street. And yeah, we came back to it and it was like picking up where you left off.
Still the same person.
Yeah.
Still
We
the
didn't
same relationship.
barely even discuss what either one of us had been doing with our time during that. It was just like straight into what we were talking about and that kind of level of friend.
Yeah.
But there's a question to the people out there. How do you make friends?
Oh my god.
Because this is something which occurred to me when you mentioned it. I was like, that's the thing we tell kids.
Yeah.
Of like, this is how you make friends. Or how do you make friends? And kids are like, I don't know how to make friends. And I'm like, I have no idea how to make friends. I have no idea how I attained my friends.
You occupy a space where there's other people, and eventually you have friends. Like, I don't think there is a way. Like, if you had to go for all your friends and be like, how did I meet you? How did we become friends? I don't think any two would be exactly the same.
I don't know. Is there anyone in your friends who you adamantly went out of your way to get to know?
No. I think they're all just really convenient. It's like turning up at uni, sit next to some people and be like,
wow.
hey, do you play games? Yeah, I play games. Oh, friends, cool.
I mean, I don't know if that's damning of you or... But in the same sense, I can't.
But like, what have you ever done that where you just see someone, you be like, I want to be your friend, and then like you pursue them as a friend?
There's been people who I've heard about their interests, and I've been like, I want to kind of hang out with you.
Right.
I mean, there was my friend in uni, Matt, who's been on the show. We discussed how we became friends. When we first met each other, we hated each other. Because we both thought we were both pretentious assholes, which we are both pretentious assholes, but we were both in the same class,
right?
And that doesn't gel properly because you can only be one pretentious asshole.
That's true. It's a clique.
Yeah. So when we first met him, I hated him. I didn't think he was in any way interesting, and then the more I got to know him, I was like, maybe he's okay, And then I invited him out on like a night out. We got to know each other more. So he's probably as close as I've come to actively pursuing someone to get to know them.
Yeah.
But that, again, I think that was just me trying to compensate for the fact that I hated him when I first met him.
You still feel bad about hating him? Or?
Well, no, it wasn't bad because we openly discuss it.
Oh, well, there you go.
We were just like, yeah, when I met you, I thought you were a dickhead. He was like, yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, what else can we do? But yeah, I mean, I guess some people do. And I guess maybe the personality trait is there. It's just, again, how you kind of look into it, because some people do go after people and like, yeah, I'm going to be your friend.
Yeah, I've seen it, to be honest, where like, you get them puppy dogs that follow people around, then you sort of see it. It's not like super obvious, but you can sort of tell if after like a few days if they're like in the same group and you see them talking to people and then they talk to the same people and like.
I love it when you see that and then you see it not working.
Oh, that's brutal though.
There's some really sadistic part of me which is just like, that person's following that person around, or he keeps talking to that person, and then
they're just palming them off.
Yeah, they don't get invited out to their friend nights, and and they don't want to talk to them.
Yeah. See, that's like tragic for me, but at the same time, it's like Schadenfreude, where you're like, that is sort of funny though.
Yeah.
As an outside observer, it's funny sort of watching.
I think it's funny watching, like, I mean, as bad as it is to kind of laugh at someone who's trying.
Yeah.
It's funny as well to watch the person they're trying on be uncomfortable, because I'm the kind of person who would just cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, okay, you're trying to be my friend, but I'm not interested, or I don't want to hang out or anything like that. I'd just be straight up, clear as a day as I can, because I don't like to faff around it, you know. But then other people really don't want to.
Yeah, the nice people.
The nice people.
Unlike the mean people.
This doesn't paint a great picture of us on this podcast. I don't know if we could redeem this.
No.
Considering the people who would watch this would be our friends.
Just segue into talking about like puppies and stuff.
We just besmirched puppies.
Oh, that's true.
Because we were like, they follow around people and...
Shit.
Yeah.
It's doomed. We might as well just go full mean.
Yeah, fuck it. People are awful.
Yeah. I hate spending time with other humans. But here I am.
I don't know, it's interesting as well, like, just going back to the whole being invited things.
Mm.
Like, I mean, I personally don't care if I get invited to things.
Mm-hmm.
But I've known people who do. Even if they know they can't go.
Yeah.
They'll get upset if they're not invited.
I'll happily admit that that's me.
Yeah?
We discussed something like this at work recently called FOMO.
Okay.
You've heard of FOMO, right?
I've not heard of FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think this is related to social media.
Okay.
So back to the topic. Wow,
Yeah.
what a segue.
Oh, we're going round and about.
Yeah, full circle. Because of how like Facebook and stuff works, and like you see all the pictures that people take, and you get Snapchats and everything. I think it's like really imprinted like a need to be in all of your friends' like pictures of events and stuff.
Okay.
Like when people look at these things of like, these are people having fun at a party, these are people out camping, these are people out at a concert. It's like, oh, look at all my friends having fun together. But I was not invited to that.
Okay, right.
So I feel like that has a negative effect on people's self-esteem, because like, if you think you're part of a friend group, you want to be part of that friend group's activities. And when you see it non-stop on your Facebook feed, or your Snapchat or your Twitter or whatever, that hurts, I would think.
Okay.
I mean, it never happens to me because I get invited to everything because I'm super popular. But if it did, I would probably be hurt.
No, I can kind of understand that. I mean, it's that kind of like validation that you were maybe invited to something even if you couldn't go.
Yeah.
But then, maybe that's an interesting thing of like kind of like our age difference of growing up with social media then, because it's not something. But then at the same time, I know people who do suffer from it who are my age. Of like when I see other groups of friends going out and doing things, I'm like, cool. They're independent people.
Yeah,
Their lives are there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's because I actively avoid people.
It's like, fuck yeah, I didn't get invited. Now I don't have to make it up an excuse.
It's not even so much that. I think maybe it's because I'm very comfortable with being with just me. And I have been since I was tiny. It's always been the thing of like, I've never cared if I'm invited. If I'm invited, great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can do whatever else.
Yeah.
I can do other things if I'm not invited. I think I'd be more damaged if people invited me and then uninvited me.
Oh yeah, because then it's like there's thought that went into not having you there.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes if you're not invited, it's just because they were like, oh, just didn't cross my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people kind of worry about it because they're like, oh, well, they didn't think to invite me, so I'm not first on their mindset kind of thing. And I'm like, well, I'd be shocked if I was first on someone's mindset. If someone had an event and they were like, we should invite Graham, I'd be like, what the fuck are you on about? There is millions of people in the world. Why are you inviting me?
What would I think of you first for? Was like some sort of like indie art festival.
Okay, that's interesting.
I would say like, that's Graham.
Okay. I mean, I'd be interested to be invited to that.
There you go.
There you go.
Because I don't really have any other friends that are like into indie art. There's like, I got a few artist friends, but I think you're more interested in the actual arty side of it.
Okay.
They're more into like, I can draw real good or stuff like that. But I think you appreciate
It seems like a really passive comment about my artwork. Like, I can draw real good, but Graham doesn't care how he can draw.
You can draw real good. No. Read it. You can draw real good, but you care about like the actual art of it.
I'll try and not take that insulting.
Yeah. I buy your stuff.
Yeah, it's true. You buy my stuff. I mean, some people look at my work and don't buy my work, so yeah,
Exactly.
I can appreciate that. I'm trying to think why I'd invite you first. I mean, probably anything. Like
I'll take that.
you're quite you were in that top 10 list.
Echelon.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Echelon.
I've always seen it written down. I've never heard it out loud.
Echelon. I don't.
Echelon.
I'm not entirely sure of the meaning of it.
No, I've only heard it in a sentence. Like the top.
Yeah, we've just tried to
echelon
use it.
Shit, I shouldn't have questioned myself. I should have just like moved past
You
the
could have-
sentence.
You could have completely just bluffed that off, and I'd have been like, "Yeah, that's fine. Echelon,
This guy
right?
uses smart words. Yeah.
You know, we're going on a university quiz. We'll get Joe on it."
Moving swiftly past.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe that does come down to self-esteem then. If I'm the kind of person who's just like, if someone's inviting me, why the fuck are they inviting me?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas someone else requires to be invited for their self-esteem to be validated in a way. Whereas I'm not looking for that validation, and I'm dubious when I receive validation in any way, shape, or form.
Very cynical. Yeah.
I mean, I can apply that past friend stuff.
Hmm.
Like, I find it weird when people compliment like my work.
Oh right, yeah.
Which I've done a podcast on before. Like, yeah, I can't take compliments.
Yeah.
So
maybe
maybe
get like uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's like a little thing in me which is like, you don't deserve that. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. See, I think that's something that's in every like creative's mind as well.
Yeah.
Because I had that with. See, this is self-esteem. It's like, yeah, I see you talking about your thing, but hey, here's it in my life.
Yeah.
So in my life, that happened when I was at university, and I did like game jams and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And like, me and my buddy won a few of them. And like, it was weird to hear the judges be like, "Oh yeah, this was really good, and like, you did really good work here, and like, I really like the design." And I was like, "Is this a joke?" Like, look at these other people's games. They got way better games than what I did. What are you talking about? How did we win this? It's just like...
I don't think, like, because a lot of people say this is due to like narcissism being on the rise and all that kind of stuff, which again comes along with social media and friend validation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, are you more validated by friends or strangers?
I think that's my issue, is that I think I care more about what strangers think of me than my friends.
Okay. Because that's interesting.
Yeah, like, if I'm with like my close friends, I'll like dress like a slob. I don't give a shit what I look like. I don't give a shit what I talk like.
Yeah.
I'll make a fool of myself happily, but like when it's strangers, I feel like I have to sort of like present myself more as like a functional human being.
Okay, but what about family? No.
I think family's in the middle.
Okay, right.
Because like with my close family, I'll still be a slob, but like when it's like, you know, your grandparents, your cousins, your uncles, you sort of like want to present yourself as like a member of the family that isn't a complete fuck up.
Okay, all right.
So you like go there in your nice little shirt or whatever, and you're like, yeah, hey, I
did
did a good university.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. I think from my point of view, is different, but the same. Like, I do get validation from strangers, though I'm still completely uncomfortable with it. But it's always nice to kind of receive. But I think it's mainly just because, again, I have that cynical aspect of, I believe my friends are lying to me all the time. Yeah. Like, which I know is a terrible thought, because it's not true, and there's, you know, friends who do enjoy work. I mean, like, you buy my shit, you spend money on it, you know. Whereas with family, I do not care. Right. In any way, shape, or form, because I completely believe they're lying to me.
I think they're sort of obligated to.
Yeah, it's like it's that thing in the back of my head where it's like, my family, how my family view me is back here, and it's nice to hear from them, but in my head I'm like, you are required to support me. Yeah. I mean, my brother tells me my work's crap all the time. You know, he'll instantly call me out on mistakes, but when he tells me something's good, I still don't believe him, because I'm like, well, you just, you know, it doesn't matter because you're my brother. Yeah. Kind of thing. Whereas like with friends, there's a little bit less of that. Yeah. Because I'm like, we're friendly. You know, we hang out. If you told me it was bad, you might feel awkward if we were to hang out afterwards.
Yeah. So you probably won't say it's bad.
Yeah. But then the type of friends I have do tell me it's bad. Yeah. It's bad. Which is great.
I guess if you know them well enough, you'll know which ones are going to be like, this is amazing, and which ones will be like, it's good, but like, what about this?
I think it's handy to have like art friends. Because you can send it to them and be like, I need criticism. Yeah. Like, I don't necessarily need you to tell me this is good. I need you to tell me what is wrong with this. Like, leave out the good points. Yeah. Just tell me what's wrong with it, and they will do.
And that's more helpful for them as well. Because if you just send it to them and was like, look at this, then they'd be like, cool,
it's good. Yeah. You know, I like it.
But if you send it to them and be like, shit on this,
I think
then they'll be like, oh, okay.
I've literally sent friends messages which were along the lines of, tell me what's wrong with this.
I think that's a good approach. Yeah.
Maybe we need to be more blunt with our friends.
Yeah.
Instead of going, oh, look at this, thinking, I need some feedback, I need to just increase the... It's like, no, just tell me what's wrong with this.
List all the bad things about this, or
Yeah.
I will defriend you.
I think with strangers is there's that thing of, because they don't know you,
Mm.
so everything they're seeing is at face value,
Mhm.
they're completely not required.
Yeah, you trust their
Yeah, you
opinions
trust
more.
that they're going to be blunt
Yeah.
about it.
So unless
But
they're a
then-
sociopath, they're probably not going to lie for no reason.
Well, yeah,
to
but
strangers.
I think maybe that's the double side of it. Like, that's the damning thing about like something like Facebook or YouTube, is that you do have strangers, and we put so much value in a stranger's opinion.
Mhm.
So when someone is trolling,
Oh, oof.
it is heavily damning, because
Mhm.
someone will just go along and just say this is shit, and you're like, ah,
You see 1,000 positive comments.
yeah, but
And then
that
there's
one,
that one which is like,
sticks in your
this
head.
is really... Why do you even make this? And you're like, oh, okay.
And my problem is I don't engage trolls. Like, I won't argue in comments,
Mhm.
but I will send them a private message.
I'll be like, so why exactly?
Yeah,
do you like
that's essentially, like, I had one, I use Imgur quite a lot, and I posted something, and it wasn't great.
Mhm.
It was part of my 365, which I did a while
Oh, yeah,
back.
the
So it was like a
drawing.
daily drawing, and the perspective was off, and I just like posted it up, and I was like, oh, I'm doing this thing, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, well, this is shit. And I was like, I messaged him first, like, I need to know why this is shit.
Mhm.
Like, you can make that comment, and that's great,
Yeah.
but I need to know what to improve on in
Yeah.
order to
Need
improve.
a breakdown.
You can't just make a thing. We ended up just in this long discussion, essentially, about how he just goes around and just insults people at work.
Oh.
And I was just like, well, it's interesting to know, but I still need to know why.
Yeah.
Like,
Just give me a
I
thing.
just want to learn. I want to
Yeah.
understand, because at the minute this is just a dull comment.
But I think that's a good approach, though, how to deal with them. Because if you message them privately and say, what did you not like?
Mm.
And then they reply with, haha, you're fucking shit. Then you'd be like, okay, you're just a troll.
Yeah.
I can ignore you. But then if they do reply and be like, well, yeah, sorry for like saying it was shit, but it was this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
Then you'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Please leave that comment in the future.
That's the thing. Of like, it's kind of, this is the, the wastefulness of comments, isn't it? You can
Mhm.
leave a comment at a drop of a hat, and then
Yeah.
it can be misinterpreted.
Mhm.
Which is why I'll never like discuss things in comments. I'll always go to private messages, because like, if you're doing this for attention, you won't reply, because we're in private, so it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
kind of thing. I think it's the same with like if you had like someone on the street yell at you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it for attention, fantastic, you've achieved that.
Yep. You made a noise.
Yeah, you made a noise. You've basically achieved what a washing machine can, except a washing
You
machine's
can't
more
clean
useful.
dishes.
Yeah. So yeah, but then if you pull them aside and it's just you two, then they'll cage, and it's like, well, then you were doing it for attention. But if you're willing to discuss it,
Yeah.
you actually had something to say. You just didn't know how to articulate it,
Yeah.
essentially.
So you just made some loud noise, essentially,
Yeah.
in a comment.
Yeah.
And to them, it means nothing a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
It can just be a passing like, I don't like this. This is shit. Wait, next
Yeah.
tab. And then to the the person you just left that message on is like a creator who then sits there for an hour going, but why?
It is that knock-on effect of just you just kind of sit there going, why? I don't know why.
Yeah.
And now I can't go to my friends because they're not going to tell me why.
Yep. God damn.
I think Friends in the modern age is interesting.
Mm.
And it'll be interesting how it develops. But then at the same time, we'll never see how it develops.
Yeah.
Because we'll be getting older.
Surrounded by people our age.
Who are our age. Likely one of us will have kids, statistically.
Yeah.
Get married.
I guess
So-
our kids will know. Just have to ask them.
Yeah.
Our kids, friends' kids.
Yeah, So you'll watch how they develop.
Yeah.
And then get confused and angry about it.
Yeah, probably.
'Cause that's
that seems
what
to be
people
what
do.
adults do, yeah.
You see something you don't understand and then you get confused and angry about it. And then you
I
shout
already
about
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
I get confused and angry all the time at things. It's the easiest reaction to have.
We're about halfway there of how to get through being friends with old people. I find it easier to be friends with old people in a way, though.
They don't bullshit.
They don't. Because they've lived too long.
Yeah.
No
No time to bullshit when you're old.
time to bullshit. They'll tell you exactly what's wrong with your stuff. Because they have some context with it.
Yep.
But at the same time, you can take everything they say with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand the world you're living in.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what we need. Everyone needs an old age pensioner as a friend.
We should be buddied up with them. It would be
That's what-
doubly beneficial because they get friends.
Yeah.
We get real feedback.
So essentially what we're doing is we're solving all social situations and nursing home problems.
Yes, at once.
Everyone who's 25 and up, so you've had the opportunity to go to university if you want to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Camera just started again.
See?
Yeah. So like everyone from 25 and up has to go to a nursing home
Mm-hmm.
and make friends with an old person and have that old person within their life
Yeah.
as a friend.
Frequently.
Forced friendship.
Yep. Contractually obliged.
Contractually advised. And any racist old people have to have someone who's a different race.
Yeah. Just for the.
Just because that'll make interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we've solved everything.
And it took, what, less than an hour,
It took an hour.
a couple of coffees.
That's all anything ever needs. Anytime. Like, I mean, very few of these podcasts solve anything.
No.
And we've just come up with a world solution.
Yeah. We should be hired.
People, yeah, I don't know what for.
Something.
Is there a position for this?
Let's find out.
Oh.
Send this to...
If you'd like
Government.
to hire us for all people's social endeavours, please contact me via the YouTube channel. But no, I think it's a roundabout. Maybe it's just perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's important to have a broad friend group
Yeah.
so that you don't get trapped in the same opinion.
Yeah. I think that is the basis of it.
I think that works for Facebook as well.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as you've got a diverse range, you're in a situation where you'll be okay.
Yeah, you're not just in like an echo chamber of
Yeah.
these are all the same people as me, and you want to have your shit you mean friends.
Yep.
You want to have your people that you can't unfriend because it would make situations awkward.
I feel like this is going to lead to a heavy unfriending,
Yeah.
if not on our end, on other people.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. I'll just share it on my wall and see how many people just get rid of me.
This is how we see the world, people, and this is how you've been attached to our friend group.
You're probably just there because I don't want the awkwardness of unfriending you.
I may have unfriended you already. By the time this goes out,
Oh, dear.
I think that's a great point to end on.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, thank you for
Good
coming,
talk.
Joe.
No worries. Anytime.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you guys later.